joining me today. I'm very excited to be sharing a project with you that features some of the items that were included in Simon Says Stamps limited edition card kit that just came out a few days ago. Now the kit is already sold out, but all of the products that are included in the kit are available for individual purchase, and I will have them linked down in the video description and over at my blog. So for my cards today, I'm going to be using one of the stamp sets that's included in the kit. I'm also going to be using the die and also the pre-cut 4-bar-sized cards. To get started, I'm going to be using some alcohol inks. I've got 3 colors of the Tim Holtz Adirondack alcohol inks. This is a purple color. This one here I believe is watermelon. It's a really bright and bold pink. And then I've also got this teal color, which I'm going to be mixing in as well. Now I'm applying all of these alcohol inks onto a piece of freezer paper because I can manipulate the inks and use them as if I was doing ink smooshing with distress inks. Now alcohol inks, you need to use a glossy paper, and I'm using some photo paper here. You can use Yupo, photo paper, basically anything that has a glossy finish. Now right now it looks like a real hot mess because it is just kind of mixing together and we're creating a lot of layers on this. But because alcohol inks aren't as transparent as a dye ink, so if we tried to do this with, say, for instance, distress inks, the distress inks are more transparent, so they're going to blend together more and create more of a mucky mess. Whereas the alcohol inks aren't quite as transparent, so they're actually going to layer on top of each other, and the layers that we add are going to be more vibrant, so they're not going to get as muddy. You're going to see the definition between a pink and a green and a purple, and it creates a really gorgeous effect. I'm tipping this around to kind of get the inks to move a little bit, and I continue to add layers onto my paper to create a really cool variegated effect. I also use some alcohol blending solution to go ahead and add some droplets to kind of wick the color out from each other, because as you add the alcohol, it really just kind of wicks the color out from the center of where that alcohol was placed. So it creates some really cool spotted effects, and it blends the colors together really neatly. So after I did all of that inking, you can see I had a lot of ink left on this freezer paper. If I reactivate it with my alcohol I have in a spray bottle, I can go ahead and pick up this extra ink to create a really light and pastel-y effect. Whereas the other panel is going to be really bold because we have a lot of the concentrated alcohol on that paper. This is a lot more translucent because we don't have such concentration with the ink here. I'm also going to add droplets again with my alcohol solution. I'm just flicking that on, and you can see as it wicks out, you can see it creates these really cool spotted effects. This is what the paper looks like when it's completely dry. And the one thing cool about these alcohol inks is you don't know how it's going to turn out. You find out as you create because you can't control where the alcohol is going, which is really fun. So I'm going to take this bold paper and I'm going to use the die that's included in the kit. And I'm going to cut a bunch of different hearts from that paper. You can see the really cool variegated effect. I would love to create a galaxy background using these alcohol inks to create something really pretty in these kind of colors. I think this would look great as a galaxy. So I'm using some of the pre-cut cards and I'm going to mount them into my Misty tool. I'm using the Misty tool not only to do my stamping, but I'm also going to use it as just kind of a place to be able to hold my paper down as I'm working on it. So I'm taking one of the sentiments from the Loving Hearts stamp set, and I'm going to line up the hearts and the stamp onto my card and figuring out the basic placement for where I want everything to be able to start creating this card. Once I've decided on the placement, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my stamp with my Misty stamping tool, and I'm going to go ahead and ink up the stamp with some Simon Says Stamp Island Blue ink. Now for all my stamping, I chose colors that really brought out the colors that are in my alcohol ink background. So this island blue color really matches that really bright and vibrant blue color that's in our alcohol ink background. And that was created by mixing just 3 colors, which were that teal color, the purple, and the pink. So you can see we get a lot of variation in these backgrounds when we're mixing colors like this. So I've also got some of the hearts, which are also from the Loving Hearts stamp set, and I'm going to pull out some inks. I've got Ocean Waves, Coral Berry, and Hot Mama. These are from Altenew and Simon Says Stamp. And I'm going to ink up the hearts, and I'm going to place these around with the hearts that I have die cut from the alcohol ink background. I'll continue doing some stamping until I fill in the areas around these hearts. This just adds a little bit of interest to the background and helps give some variation because we have different sizes of hearts going on here. I'm also going to pop up the little hearts with some foam tape. and just that'll give the card a little bit of dimension. These cards are nice and clean and simple, and that's because I want the alcohol ink paper to really take center stage here because we did this really cool technique in creating this paper. We don't want it to get lost in a busy card, so we want something that's going to be clean and simple and allow that to really pop off of this white background of this card base. So after I've added everything down onto my card, I took some Tim Holtz shears and I trimmed off the excess that was hanging off the sides of the cards. And you can see we've already got something really cool going on here. Now I'm going to continue creating cards like this. I've created a whole bunch of them using the same technique, and the only difference that I did on each card was that I used a different sentiment and I arranged the hearts slightly differently on each card. So in some cases I tipped them. In other cases I went with a horizontal layout and used a few of them along the left-hand side. So each card varies slightly, but they all match really well together. And you can create these in a variety of different ways. You can use different colors and different layouts. It's just really fun to play around and see what you can create with some simple supplies. So I'm going to go ahead and put these into a box. This is the box that I use for when I'm doing all of my spraying. I'm using some Shimmer Spritz here from Imagine Crafts, and I'm going to go ahead and spritz this really heavily just to give myself some shimmer on these cards. The color here I used is Sparkle, and it's a very subtle shimmer, but it's really gorgeous, and it captures the light beautifully. And it's just a simple embellishment that really dresses up these cards a little bit, but allows the alcohol ink background for the hearts to really take the focal point of this card. So I hope this has given you some inspiration on not only doing some alcohol inking and die cutting to create some cute embellishments, but also give you some inspiration on using a few of the products that were included in the Simon Says Stamp Special Edition card kit. Again, like I said, the card kit is not available any longer for a purchase as a kit itself, but all of the items that are included in the kit are available for individual purchase. So you can go ahead and pick out the things that you really liked from the kit and be able to use them on cards like I did here. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and head on over to my blog where you can get more information on these cards, including still pictures and products used. I also have the products linked in the video description below, and if you enjoyed this video, here are a couple more you might find interesting featuring Simon Says Stamp exclusive products. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more weekly inspiration. Thanks for watching. I will see you again soon.